Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Resale Market. Thank you for joining us on episode 338 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor. How's it going, Trevor?
Hey, pretty good.
We just talked for a while. One thing I didn't say to you.
We had a big business meeting.
We had a business meeting. We had a
business thing.
Meeting of the board of Welcome Home Podcast.
Right.
But for good reasons, not like bad reasons or anything like that. So don't think there's bad things. These are good things. But what I wanted to talk about first though, Trevor, I didn't say this to you because we were busy talking about other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's snowing here, like a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah. So last weekend we had the ice, right?
Yep.
And now this weekend we are getting actual real life snow. And it's funny because we're there, forecasting about 7 inches of snow. The last time we got 7 inches of snow, Trevor, here was 2014. And like before that was like another like 20 years before this. Like we don't get snow like this. It's very rare. But I was like, Trevor's going to laugh at this because here I am, like 7 inches of snow is like snowpocalypse for where I live. But like for you, it's a Tuesday,
Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing is we're on the opposite end of it where we're back to unseasonably warm. It was cold. We had a cold snap and now it's above zero, which to us is actually t-shirt weather. And I know that sounds crazy if you don't live in the north because you're probably going, what the heck? There's still snow on the ground, but we're not bothered anyway.
You don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's funny though, that I have been seeing, sorry, this is probably not the nicest thing, but I've been seeing all kinds of reports of like, understandably, there's been a lot of cold weather happening down the States. And I know you guys are all like, some of you are like, you've been talking about, planning for staying warm and all that. And yes, as a Canadian, I'm looking at it and going like, oh yeah, like that's
a joke.
Yeah. That's been like since November for me. Okay. But I get it. Like if you're not prepared for it, if you're in a place where it's not, it doesn't happen regularly, it seems very unnatural and, you don't quite know how to handle it. But, yes, because I've been in it for so long, all I can kind of do is laugh and go like, yeah, you got snow. Like, okay.
Listen, it's different. It's just different. It's it's just a whole different thing. I understand why you find it hilarious though. I would too, I think. Because it is kind of weird. I will say on the flip side, when you guys have heat waves, like when it gets hot here, like? well, I have experienced like really hot, and like when it gets up like around. When it gets to like 35 degrees here, which is like, I want to say in like the 90s, something like that. Like when it gets that, like anything above 35. That's 95. Yeah.
95. So like, to me, that's like, I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go near anything, but and I know that like it, it's the same kind of thing really at the end of the day. Is it's like, you talk about like, oh yeah, if it's really hot out, you make sure you're staying hydrated, you make sure that you got sun protection, all that. But for me, that's like way more scary than the cold, even though the cold is the same thing on the other end. But it's like, yeah, I know how to handle that. Like minus 40, I don't like it, but I can still go out and function minus 40. Plus 35, I like, just leave me alone in the house with the AC. Like,
I understand that. I get that. It makes sense. It does. So, it's just weird though, because it's snowing and there's snow on the ground. We usually don't get snow that sticks either. Like that's the thing. That's the other part of this, right? Is that like we'll get snow, but it'll melt within an hour, right? Like this is like actual sticking snow. It's like windy out. It's crazy. It's a whole thing. So my daughter is very excited. But here's the thing. extraordinarily unprepared for this, right? Like I don't have any like, snow stuff at all. Like I don't even have a heavy jacket, Trevor. I just don't need one, right? Like I just, I don't have something I can wear like on a daily basis for 19-degree weather,
The trick is layers.
Layers.
You don't need a heavy jacket. What you need is a windbreaker. So something that will like stop the cold air from coming in. And then you just need a layer underneath that just acts or just gives like an air gap basically between your outer layer and your inner layer. And you'll actually stay warmer than like getting a heavy jacket.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So you could, this is going to sound crazy, but you could actually fake it even if you just, it's not super comfortable, but if it's like super windy and cold, you can just use like a rain poncho as your outer layer because again, it'll stop the wind because it's just, it's hard or it's, plastic, right? And then you can bundle up underneath and that will actually do a lot more good than like trying to find a heavy jacket.
Nice. Well, listen, some of our listeners are going to need this tip as well if they're traveling to the parks because I saw Orlando is also got like 30-degree weather, which is crazy for Orlando.
There might be actual snow in Disney World, not the Snope or whatever the
Snope,
fake the snow soap or whatever it's called.
Yeah, no, that's really funny. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm not going to complain because I love snow and I'm happy to see some. And knowing how excited my daughter is going to be about it is about it. I should say, not gonna. She is. She's very thrilled about this going on. So, it's great. But
you know what? I guess one thing your daughter, or I guess no, you have gotten to do it because I think you guys have like a sledding. I remember you saying this. There's like a fake toboggan hill near you or something like that, or they do those.
Oh yeah, it's not really near me, but yeah, we did. It's like a place where you can go. Yeah.
I mean, the one thing, like when I think about when my son was your daughter's age, was like tobogganing was a very fun activity in the winter. That the hard part is that you're, because you guys live in a place where you don't have snow, it's not like your guys all have like toboggans lined up to go find the nearest hill, right? So, but I mean, tobogganing in the snow is an experience and is interesting. Just don't be that person with a garbage bag trying to toboggan down a hill. It works, but it's not fun. I think back to when I was a kid and we were like using like cardboard and whatever we could find as makeshift toboggans because that's what you do when we couldn't always afford like the GT snow racers, which anyone in Canada knows what a GT snow racer is.
Snow racer, what is that?
You'll have to look it up. They were the primo tobogganing thing, and I think they still are a lot. Like I've
those
seen,
things are cool. Yeah, they have like little wheels on them. I feel like I don't think I had that. I always had tubes.
Yeah, they don't
steering wheel. A steering wheel.
Yeah, it has a steering. Yeah, that was the reason people wanted is you could drive them and you could like plan out your route down the hill instead of just on the tube and going.
See, we would always rock tubes, and you would just be taking people out left and right on the hill.
Oh yeah,
there's no controlling tubes. You just go.
Yeah, but I mean that's if you are tobogganing, always be looking up the hill. Don't ever be looking down the hill because that's how you get your legs taken out.
It's funny though because I was like I was looking around my neighborhood because like listen I've talked about this before. Down south here we don't have plows and stuff, right? So the roads are I'm not going out, right? We're not going anywhere until it melts. So I was saying to my daughter, I was like, we kind of got to find something within walking distance if we're going to do like any sledding at all, right? And what I found was we have my neighborhood has an has a secondary retaining pond, right? So like we have a retaining pond for all the water in the neighborhood, and then a secondary one that never fills up. Like it's like an overflow, but it's it's a retaining pond, so it's kind of deep, right? And it's kind of steep on the side. So I was like, that might be an option, Like we might be able to do that. There is another hill in the neighborhood, but the very bottom of it goes directly into a wooded area. Like there's no runoff. Like
Oh,
you just,
yeah, no.
yeah, like
yeah.
which you got to be careful of. And
Yeah.
my best friend / brother-in-law, years and years ago, we used to go to this hill. I bet you could probably Google it. It's but it's because it's a well-known sledding hill. But at the very bottom of it is a major roadway. So like, and there's no runoff, and so there's concrete like traffic dividers there. But if you don't stop in time, you're just slamming into concrete, like just slamming into concrete. And my brother-in-law got a concussion there one time.
Yeah,
so,
that's why you don't use like the garbage bags or whatever, because you get going too fast and you can't control it.
That's really, I mean, we went there and I like literally he got a concussion because he ran directly into this into this thing. So but yeah, I was also thinking to myself, I'm like, do I have anything for her to sled with? Because I was like, we have like a bunch of pool toys, so like we have a pool, like a bunch, like several pool teams.
I guess
so
pool,
that.
Those could work. Yeah. Sorry, it's when you're talking about the accident. Sorry, I just remembered this is that my company or the company that I work for used to do sledding as part of the Christmas party. So like they would do like it would be like a weekend thing where like they would go out and do like a full weekend at a resort for a Christmas party. And part of it was they would do a sledding competition, and people so there was like teams of adults like putting together sleds that got more and more creative and crazy over the years. Yeah. And it finally ended with somebody brought a raft and used a raft as a sled, like those big rafts that you can fit like 10 people on kind of thing.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Rafts.
Yeah.
But they had way too many people on it,
of course,
and it ended up crashing into the hockey rink, which and people ended up getting taken away in ambulances.
Okay, I'm
like,
sorry. Now I shouldn't have laughed. I shouldn't have laughed. No, my bad.
But it's funny in hindsight. Like, and that was like, we don't do that anymore because it's a danger. Like, sledding is like, it's fine until it's not fine, and then people are.
Listen, truthfully, if you don't get hurt while you're sledding, I mean, you're probably not doing it right.
Oh yeah. I've gotten many bumps and bruises from sledding. Yeah.
If you don't get hurt at least once, then you're probably not you're doing sledding wrong. Because we were just kids, we'd make jumps and stuff. You'd have like
you're always going for the jump. You were deliberately like trying to like hit the jump on the way down. Yeah.
Although when I did do that as an adult,
bad idea.
It was not good. When I went sledding as an adult, I have never in my entire life felt older.
You suddenly find where all the joints don't quite work the same as when you were a kid.
Well, and the worst part about it was it was like it's a place that it's called Hawk's Nest. It's up in the mountains in North Carolina, and it's a place that's just for snow tubing, right? Like that's what they do. It's a snow tubing place. So there's other people there. So once you get to the bottom, as soon as you get to the bottom, someone else is going. Right. And so like you don't have time to like, work yourself off of the tube. You just need to get off as quickly as possible. So, I'm like rolling off of it like a beached whale, like, 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 and I'm just like, why does everything hurt? I used to remember this being fun.
Just standing up from a tube is actually way harder than you think it is.
I didn't recognize that until I did it at, this older age now, and man, that was rough.
We did it as kids, and I like as a kid, my parents weren't always supervising us at the toboggan hill, but then, But then as we got older, like it was a lot more feral, I guess, when I was a kid because we were just, doing whatever. But, as an adult, it was like, oh yeah, I want to make sure I supervise my kid and rightfully so. Like I see it now, like, every toboggan hill, there's like, it's not just kids, there's parents out there, whatever. But yeah, like you said, as a parent, it's like, you remember that, like, what you did as a kid. But, I always, when I was a kid, I always wondered why my parents didn't participate in the stuff that I was doing as much, or they would just kind of stand and watch what I was doing. But then as a parent, now you understand
Oh yeah.
why they weren't like jumping in and like, they didn't get on the trampoline with you. They didn't, they didn't go tobogganing with you. Stuff like that was,
I get it. Yeah.
There is a reason for it.
Yeah, I 100% get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's you don't realize until that happens. So anyway, but
that was a fun little rant about sledding and weather and all that. Which
I like that you guys call it tobogganing. That's way cooler than calling it sledding, I think.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Is that really a tobogganing's? I mean, yeah.
Is
it a Canadian thing? I didn't think it was, but
well, no. I mean, I grew up calling a sled a toboggan, but we never called sledding tobogganing. We just called it sledding. But we had a wooden sled that we called a toboggan.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also people that call toboggans hats down here. So
okay,
they're called hats toboggans, I should say. That's another weird thing that I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Because toboggan is a sled. And they're like, no, it's a hat. I'm like, but no, though, it's a sled. But yeah, that's it's funny how these words all are different things, depending on who you talk to. So
yeah. I didn't realize my Canadianism was showing through quite so much.
Tobogganing, it was a little bit, but it's okay. That's allowed. But do you guys even do it that much anymore? I mean, like, your son, you guys have so much snow all the time. Like, it was almost like a special thing. Even though we got snow every winter, your winter lasts a lot longer than my winters lasted in New Jersey.
I mean, it's still very much a thing, and even like the community we live in, we have like a community lake, and the lake has a tobogganing hill. So I mean, there's like, we haven't been out there. Like, I would take my son out there all the time when he was younger, but I think by the time he was about like 10 or 11, he didn't want me taking him tobogganing.
It's fair.
So like, I haven't done it in years, but but I used to also like my brother's daughters are younger. And like, it was the same thing. Like, we would take them tobogganing at the hill and everything as well. So yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a thing you do in the winter because, not, you don't get bored of it because there's not a lot else to do in the winter, I guess.
That makes sense. Yeah. I don't ever remember my parents coming with me. Like you said, it was a more feral time. You just kind of like, I was just like, hey, I'm going sledding. I'll see you later.
Yeah. I will admit, I did grow up a little bit I was, I guess, a latchkey kid in
Me
that,
too.
Be home before the street lights come on, which the funny thing here is that's a real challenge to navigate in the winter because the street lights would come on at 4 p.m. here.
Oh, geez.
Because of how our day and night changes throughout the year. Like, the winter, the days are very short, and it would be like, you can't stay out while it's dark. And it's like, well, but then, I'm home before dinner because the sun's setting at 4:30 in the afternoon. Whereas, but then the summertime, like, the streetlights wouldn't come on till 10 p.m. because the days are a lot longer. So we got that bonus.
This might be a regional reference. I don't know. It could be an everywhere reference. I don't know. But I remember when I was a kid, before the evening news, they always would play this thing where they would say, it's 7 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yes. Yeah. We had that too. Yeah.
Okay.
It was definitely a thing growing up that my parents didn't have any idea where I was. And even I did actually talk with my mom about this a while ago, where I was telling her like the stuff that I did as a kid, and she was actually like shocked at the places that we went and the potential trouble we could have gotten into because we were like playing in like construction sites and stuff. And
we used to do all that stuff when you were a kid. My mom doesn't know half the stuff I did, but anyway. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this.
I'm not sorry. I already told my mom. So
it's all good. She can't do anything now. She can't exactly now. So anyway, we should talk.
Right. So let's actually get to the show.
Can we talk really briefly though about what we were talking about before the show, which is show related? So.
Yes. So I guess back to our business thing.
Actual things about the show and stuff. So. Sorry for the tangent. I apologize, everyone.
You know what? It's our show. We can do it however we want.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. So we have been, I think everybody, remembers the way the show was before, and then we had a change, and then as part of that change, we kind of lost our website, and so we have, we've been kind of just busy trying to, resettle ourselves into things, and I think we've, for the most part, not been all that different, right? I mean, I think we've pretty much been doing what we were doing, but we've been busy and we just haven't had a website. So I wanted to let everybody know we now have a website again. It's back. Now the website is slightly changed because it is now welcomehomepodcast.co, not .com. So
or .co.
.co. Yeah. So .co, just drop the M and you'll find it. But so we have launched the new website, and it does, it has all the episodes on it, it has the YouTube stuff, it has, ways to contact us, all that fun stuff on there, easy ways to join the Patreon, stuff about sponsors, all that fun stuff on the website. But that is just kind of step one in our kind of revamp of what we're doing. So listen, check it out. If you have any feedback on it, please give it to us. I will let everyone know it is still a bit of a work in progress. We are still adding to it, so there might be some things here and there that are not updated yet, but we're working on that. And after this, Trevor, the next step is a new store, and we're gonna have a new store.
Which we've been working on that too in the background. Yes. So we wanted to get the website up, and we still have the existing store. That store's not gone away, but Tom and I wanted to refresh the store, and we found a new place to host the store as well. So.
Which the new store has far more different types of items and is way more affordable than the one we have now. So
and that's part of it too. Is as we have talked about, is there are things we want to do outside of what we were offering in the old store, and this new store will give us the ability to do that. So.
Yeah, and I will tell everyone too, listen, our old store, the stuff in it is fairly expensive, but it was never because Trevor and I wanted to take a big profit out of it. We actually had it set to almost no profit. Essentially we were making $1 on a shirt because this particular site was very expensive. So this new one is, we're going to keep the prices pretty low in there because truthfully, listen, it's not like a revenue source for us. We want, people to be able to buy the stuff and wear it and spread the word of the podcast. That's what's important to us.
Yeah, it's not the only way we're helping to support the show, but again, and to that point, it's not. Yeah, the store is not there as that this is putting money in our pocket. It's really just paying our expenses to keep the show running, because even though putting out these episodes is relatively easy and relatively low overhead, we still have costs that come up. And it's just one of those things.
My new boat and my house in Golden Oaks are completely unrelated to the podcast. Totally unrelated.
Why haven't I been able to come visit yet?
I've been laundering money from the show for years now. So
all 30 cents.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyone will tell you that has done a podcast. It's not exactly unless you're one of the biggest podcasts in the world, you're not making millions of dollars doing this. So but anyway, so please check out the site. We would love to hear your feedback about it, but just also keep in mind too that it is a work in progress. But if you do find something that's not working, or you do that's something you'd want to see on the site that's not on there now, just pop us an email. There's a contact form on there you can even contact us through, or send us a message, and we're happy to take a look at it, because we want to make this a cool place. So so that's that. Now we can actually talk about stuff that's going on.
All right, so let's change gears a little bit here, and I guess we do talk about Muppets on a regular basis, but there is a little bit of Muppets news this week. So, and this isn't for DVC. This is for D23 Gold members.
Yeah.
Which
is that the level that anyone can get? I forget.
I don't think I can get gold, because I can't remember how they changed the tiering, but I think gold is the paid.
Yes, it is the paid one. Yeah,
exactly. Okay. So D23 Gold members get an early screening of the Muppet Show special. So this is the remake of the old school Muppet Show that they're doing with who is it? Seth
Rogen.
Seth Rogen, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember which Seth it was that was doing this. There's more that
Carpenter's hosting it too, and then so Seth Rogen, and then his producing partner Evan Goldberg, and then some. They're going to have all your favorite Muppets are there, right? So all the
and it's giving that old school vibe, like the original Muppet Show kind of vibe with all. And I love this. I actually kind of forgot how big of a thing this was with the Muppet Show. Was they did a really good job of doing the behind the scenes stuff. Where there was like the main show where they would do like skits and stuff, but there was always like the them talking in the wings and stuff like that, which I'm kind of excited to see that again. I hope that they're able to maintain that energy that the old shows had for that. So they're they're really bringing it back to the old, to the old format too. They're doing a variety show, and they're doing it in the the Muppet Studios, and I mean, everyone's going to be there, including terrible Kermit. But that's terrible Kermit. I mean,
dude,
we'll have to see. Maybe he got feedback. I don't know.
I can't with Kermit anymore. I just no, not maybe he got. It's been too long now. Okay, it's been too long. He needs to be better.
I mean, fine. we'll leave it there. But either way, they said that they're getting the preview of it.
Yeah.
And it's happening on February 3rd, which is actually coming up this next week. So hopefully,
that'll be Tuesday. So if you're listening to this after it came out on Monday, this is tomorrow. So if you're a gold member, I'm sure you got an email about it. But they're gonna have this this free preview thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what kind of feedback it gets, and when it comes out for the rest of us, I'll be excited to check it out.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be out on the 4th, and it's going to be on Disney Plus, so that'll be easy enough for you to watch, right?
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to watch it for sure. I'm glad that they're doing more stuff with the Muppets always. So,
I mean,
anytime they're doing more things.
It's funny. People were. I don't want to say. What's the right term for it? They weren't like in my head. I want to say crying, but they weren't crying about it. But there was a lot of like the Muppets 3D going away.
Yeah,
there was a lot of like but why are they changing it? Whatever, and it's like, but the interesting thing is now that they've kind of taken that away, I feel like there's more Muppet stuff coming now because like the fact that it's not hooked to Muppet Vision. But so it's funny because between the Rock and Roller Coaster redo and they're launching the show and we keep hearing more and more stuff about like they have intent to do more with Muppets as a franchise. I feel like Muppets Vision was kind of holding them back a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that might be a hot take that some people don't like. That I know Muppet Vision 3D was endearing and all that, but yeah, I don't think we would be getting the stuff we're getting if it was still there. So, food for thought.
I mean, I do feel like though, I mean, they're obviously having the Muppets take over Rock and Roller Coaster. So it's, I mean, they're, I
don't think that would have happened if Muppet Vision 3D didn't close.
Okay. Yeah. That's
just putting it out there. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. I mean, that was you. So you're saying they were like, okay, we're going to close Muppet Vision 3D, but we got to throw them a bone here, and and do something else with the Muppets. So we'll have the
It kind of I think it kind of like prompted something in them because they were closing it. They were like, oh
yeah,
now we need to do something with it, right? Like there wasn't an urgency to do something with the franchise because of the fact that Muppet Vision's 3D was there.
Okay,
right? Like
yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the other piece here, we'll talk about this briefly, Trevor, just because this is not a ton of information. But one of the things that as they're working on this Tropical Americas land, which I don't know if you've been looking, people have been sharing pictures. I think it's going up quick. I'm not seeing the construction Oh yeah,
photos
you
of
got to
it.
see some construction photos. Yeah, because it's, I mean, like there's like a straight up building already for the for the Encanto ride. I mean, it's really coming up quick. But you know, and maybe that'll be in this other, I don't know, this Cars and Villains Land, not okay. But yeah, it's there's a lot of pictures floating around of construction there. You know, of course you're getting like the overhead pictures from the helicopters that people are taking, you know, because that's always a thing too. But you can see, I mean, it's gone high enough now you can see like the steel being built up and everything. But this particular thing, there was like some, these aren't permits, but I guess they're plans or filing, you know, with Florida, with you know, while they're doing the construction here, and specific to the playground area. Which, listen, one of the things that really bummed me out about Tropical Americas, the closing of Dinoland, I should say, was the closure of you know, the boneyard and that play area over there, because my daughter really liked that, and I think I really like that stuff in Disney parks. Like it's a weird kind of thing where you just, there's a random playground in a theme park, but it makes sense, you know.
Playgrounds need to exist in theme parks.
Agreed.
Like, full stop. They need to be there.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I like one of my, I bet a lot of people would agree with this, is like one of my early memories of Disney is being in the Honey I Shrunk the Kids, you know, that play area that they had at Hollywood Studios, because it was so cool.
Yep.
Like it was a whole different, I mean, it was a different kind of play area, but it was so neat and different. But it looks like, see, I almost thought for a second they might just like keep the structure of like the boneyard and like the playground over there and just like maybe retheme it. But no, they're actually going to be moving this over to where the Chip and Dale meet and greet is and Daisy Duck is over by Dinosaur and Restaurantosaurus. So like they're building a whole brand new thing.
Okay. Yeah. That yeah, I feel like that's like, you know, I'm looking at the concept art for this, and where Boneyard was, it didn't make sense to keep it where it was.
Yeah, because that's where they're putting the new carousel that they're putting in the land. So
yeah, exactly. And because they're like, I feel like they're kind of like they're trying to build like that center courtyard, like they're almost giving it like a hub.
Yeah, they're doing
kind
the
of
hub
treatment.
Kind of
yeah, so. Yeah, it makes sense that they had to move it. And also, like, to your point, you know, of them, you know, they could have just rethemed it. I'm actually kind of glad that they didn't.
Me too.
Because it does lend itself to, you know, they don't have to maintain, you know, frankly, an old play structure, because the boneyard was getting kind of old. Yeah. So, I agree. Yeah, I'm curious to see what this looks like when it's done, because, you know, I'm not at a point anymore where I have kids that need to go to playgrounds when we're in a theme park. But like you know, my son, he had plenty of great times at various playgrounds in Disneyland and Disney World. And in Disneyland, the Redwood Creek playground is the like that like, it's the same kind of thing like you were talking about with like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids stuff, where it's like it made such an awesome impression on him and on us. Like, you know, even though it wasn't like going down the slides or anything, like it was just like, wow, this is like a really cool playground. And, you know, had a lot of neat elements to it that, you know, some of it tied back to like Brother Bear and stuff like that. But yeah, so this one, you know, the Tropical Americas, I'm kind of expecting, I'm wondering if it'll lean more into Encanto or more into Indiana Jones, or maybe both.
I think it's going to be Indiana Jones, and because where they're putting it is going to be so close to the Indiana Jones ride, but also too, there's like the structure on the end of it. I don't know what that is. Like it almost looks like the old like dig yard that they had, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what it is. But that's it. Kind of. I mean, and if you actually look at the original source article, they kind of did an overlay of where this is on the map, where these plans actually sit. And I don't know. I could see this being like an Indiana Jones, like, you know, almost like they're recreating the boneyard, whereas you're doing
like archaeological stuff.
Yeah, like an archaeology, you know, like a dig site, you know. So it almost could be kind of a cool way for them to keep a part of Dinoland. I know not everybody liked Dinoland. I am probably in the minority of liking Dino Land and thinking it was kind of fun, and I liked the concept of it just because it was like the roadside attraction thing.
Mhm.
But I also understand why anybody would walk in there and go, "Oh man, this is weird." It's like all this open space and it's like a big old parking lot. Like, I get it. Like,
I live close enough to Drumheller, Alberta. I get what Dino Land was doing.
what they
Absolutely.
were trying to do.
Yeah.
But like, if you didn't know like what a roadside attraction was, though, like it could just look like they cheaped out, which they also did. Don't get me wrong. Like, but that's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so why don't we go ahead and do our ad, Trevor, and then we'll talk a little bit more about new stuff that's being built.
Sure.
And but let's do our ad first. All right. The sponsor of this episode is DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market, a key holder vacation company, is the leader in the DVC resale industry with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. In 2024, DVC Resale Market helped over 4,400 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com/welcome home or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 1-844-382-7767. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. So check them out.
Yeah.
Anyway. So we're getting a lot more details, Trevor, as things are going on here. Like I know it's funny to me. We talked about this before, where a lot of people are just like, well, why isn't Disney doing anything new? It's like they're doing a ton of new stuff. Like there's like a lot of construction going on at the resort right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot. Like, and I understand, there's a lot, there's new parks and stuff at Universal, and so that's a big piece of news. But they're building a lot of new things here. So I mean, we should be excited about those things for sure. Obviously, it's hard to get excited when it's just mounds of dirt, but but as they continue on working through these things, it's really kind of interesting to see the details as they emerge, especially since they've been kind of quiet about a lot of it. Really, especially for a while now, we haven't heard much.
I'll be honest. There's been. I get why there's been a lot of Cars Land stuff. Because Cars Land is going to be coming way faster than Villains Land.
Yeah,
but yeah, like to your point, we haven't really heard a lot about Cars Land at the moment, and Villains Land has been like nothing.
We've heard literally nothing. Yeah, we've heard not a single thing.
Yeah,
really, we haven't. So, what we're seeing now is like, they're doing some of these filings, which, listen, a filing with a government agency is not in and of itself exciting, but it does kind of give you insight into what's going on. Right. Like what's going on with this construction. So like, if you look at these new filings, it's showing where there's some of the facilities are going to be, as in like some of like the buildings are going to be for the Villains Lands and for for Cars. And so there's two gigantic buildings. And by the way, I think one of these buildings is the reason why we're getting the Haunted Mansion work that we're getting, because it's kind of in the line of sight of the queue. If you look at it, it's like right behind where Haunted Mansion is, and it's almost, and it also looks like they're building some other facility right by where the queue is there too. Now, what that's going to be, I don't know, but that also, I guess, could be part of it as well, because there's some sort of building that is literally right next to the queue for Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I do see. It's a very small building.
It
but
is.
Wait, do you think? Oh boy,
we're going into. Do I need to play the Reckless Speculation song? I mean,
do you think that they're going to move Memento Mori?
Ooh, now that's a good question, Trevor.
Yeah.
I could see it
because I'm looking at it. Okay, so for
it's
context,
building.
for anyone that's wondering, I'm like, Tom sent me this link, which is an overlay of that. So the plans for these buildings over the actual map. the size of this little building that is going to land next to Haunted Mansion looks about the same size as Memento Mori. Like it's not a huge building, and neither is like a Memento Mori is very small, but it's also attached to it's attached to like the rest of the facade going into Fantasyland, right? So it's not its own building, but it doesn't have a lot of space. To your point, you know, the fact that they're building this very tiny building right next to Haunted Mansion makes me go like, why would they put something there? Like it's really close to Haunted Mansion.
It is. It's extremely close to Haunted Mansion, and that's interesting.
And the other side of that is if they moved Memento Mori over there, it kind of, or well, I guess
I think they tear down Memento Mori. I think they take the opportunity because that particular area is a choke point, right? Like it's.
So don't actually replace it with anything, but just expand.
Just make more sidewalk space, right? Because think of how bad that choke point's going to be once the new lands open up. You're going to have.
That's true.
It's going to be. You're going to have people coming from all different directions, and anybody that's coming from Fantasyland to Cars Land and to Villains Land is going to be coming through that area, and that already cannot accommodate a lot of people. It already gets gummed up all the time. I mean, literally every time I'm there. It's a bad spot.
Yeah, you're right. We avoid going that way through Fantasyland unless we absolutely have to. Like I'll actually go back through Liberty Square and through the hub instead of going that back route.
Yeah, because it's a really kind of cramped area, and I think Memento Mori, if you look at if you do a satellite of Google Maps, you get rid of Memento Mori, that's a huge amount of space that people can walk through. I mean, it's a small store, but you open that up, and the stuff that's behind that, I mean, you can make a very large walkway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good point.
That literally will feed directly into a new walkway that gets you to Cars Land. I mean, Memento Mori is right at the entrance of Haunted Mansion. Like that's some legit reckless speculation right there.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense because like I said, when you sent this to me and I was looking at it, I'm like immediately that tiny building was the first thing that stood out to me. It was like there, like you said, there's these huge buildings, which looking at the larger buildings, I'm not convinced that this whole area is going to be Cars Land.
Well, the ones in the huge buildings in the back are Villains, or where Villains Land is. So
yeah, but that's supposed to extend beyond the berm for the for the track.
That's true.
Because I thought Villains Land was supposed to be past the train. Was it not?
Yeah, but this could be a show building for something in Villains Land, though. I mean, that's what they're speculating, I think, here.
One of the buildings though overlaps the
new
the
tunnel.
Train.
New tunnel
could be, yeah. It could be the train, or it could be the tunnel. But then, what is this other building that is like in Rivers of America? Well, what do you think that could be?
So this article, and by the way, I'll give credit to WDW Magic. Woof. Okay, so the one building, the large building that's back there is in Villains Land, is 71,000 square feet, which is about the same size as the show building for Rock and Roller Coaster. So, maybe indoor coaster. I don't know. The second building is about 48,000 square feet. So that's the two buildings for Villains Land. And those are big buildings, but and they're saying, for comparison, Rise of the Resistance is 92,000 square feet. Dinosaurs 85,000 square feet. So, which is interesting. Dinosaurs
they're not that big.
They're decent size though. I mean, they're not small.
Yeah. Or I guess, yeah. So, okay, fair. Because I guess, I'm looking at Haunted Mansion next to these. Like, you're right. It's a bigger building than Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
But I guess we're kind of used to or sorry, if I'm thinking indoor roller coasters need a ton of space.
They do. Yeah.
So
listen, nothing compares to Cosmic Rewind, which is 197,000 square feet. Although I think that's the largest one in existence. So
yeah,
I don't think they've ever made a bigger building than that for a roller coaster. So this is really, really interesting to me, because without actually knowing what they're doing in Villains, like they haven't even said what there's going to be in Villains Land, right? Like we can see in the concept art that there's certainly a roller coaster of some sort, right? And so there's going to be a roller coaster, but we don't know what that's going to look like. And this could just be the inside portion, right? Obviously. So there's probably going to be an outside portion too, I would think.
Yeah, to that point, the coaster doesn't necessarily need to be exclusively indoor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I also wonder though too if this one facility that almost that is like literally just it almost looks like it's just like a tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a long straight piece. I almost wonder if that is going to be a tunnel, right? Because the reason why I'm saying that is you are going to need some sort of separation between Cars Land and also Big Thunder is right there, right? It's almost like you would want some sort of like almost like the tunnel that they have for Star Wars, right? For Galaxy's Edge, where it enables you to keep everything out around it, right? Like it actually does like that transforming, into a different place where you're actually getting away from Hollywood studios,
It's the portals in Epic Universe. I know you haven't seen that or know what I'm talking about, but anyone who's been to Epic Universe, the portals fit that same functionality. Yeah.
It's all the same concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if that's what it is. It seems kind of long. And I also anticipate that I assume there's going to be stuff next to Big Thunder there because that's not going to be water anymore, I wouldn't think, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's all going to be that Piston Peak attraction though, correct?
That's all kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all kind of in the middle. Where Tom Sawyer Island was.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize how much space there was actually like on the back end of Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There is so much unused space there that they're going to be filling stuff into. And yeah, I guess I was honestly thinking that Villains Land was going to be further back. Like I didn't I thought the train was closer. I guess the train seems closer, but it's a very odd thing that they're I guess if Villains Land is like straddling the train, that's kind of that's going to be very interesting because you'll have a section of the train that like, how do you hide that, right? How like you're just going to have like the Walt Disney World Railroad running through Villains Land? Like, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, tunnel. They're building a tunnel, right? That's what's going to happen. They're going to build a tunnel.
But that whole section will be a tunnel.
Yeah, kind of seems like it. Yeah, kind of seems like it. It's interesting though because that one straight piece, like you don't really get that far back in the concept art for Cars Land, right? Like there's no that like doesn't exist in the Cars Land. At least what we've gotten so far. You know? So this is, I don't know, it's going to be interesting. It's there's a lot of obviously we're going to learn a lot more sometime soon here. I think all the Cars Land stuff is pretty straightforward, right? Because clearly there's going to be indoor parts of that ride and outdoor parts, right? It's looks like
just
mostly
like buildings for like there's going to be shops and stuff there too. Like that's what I'm kind of thinking this is like there's going to, because I believe there going to be a like a restaurant or a quick service there? I don't remember.
It says it's also expected to include themed dining and shopping locations that fit into the Frontierland style.
Exactly. So yeah, a lot of these buildings are that. Like it's not even just because I think a lot of the attraction is outdoors for Piston Peak. So yeah, these buildings are facilitating exactly that. It's going to be dining and all that. But then, that long one, I was thinking, maybe it was like storage or something like that. But yeah, if you're saying it's a tunnel, that makes sense. Yeah. But then then you're going to have, it's going to be weird because you're going to have a separation with Haunted Mansion, or I'm not sure how, I guess you'll have to see how they slice this up because, like Haunted Mansion would fit going into Villains Land, but where Villains Land sits is on like the back end of Haunted Mansion, which doesn't make any sense, right? Like it does. It's not going to be. It's going to be strangely connected if they. You're right. They have to do something. There has to be like a portal or something that they're using to kind of split those two lands.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I mean, I don't really know. Obviously, we're just. I mean, I didn't play the reckless speculation song, but we're recklessly speculating. So, because we honestly nobody knows at this point, except unless you work in Imagineering. But
I wouldn't say this is speculation, only because of the fact that we're just looking at building positioning and
pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
I guess we are speculating on what those buildings could be, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe bet to say that these are going to be show buildings for Villains Land. Those are two really big buildings. Like, what else are they going to be? I mean, they got to be, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't know what this little square next to Haunted Mansion is going to be. We don't know what this Cars Land stuff is going to be, but we have to assume it's all part of the attraction and part of the land. So, that's really what we have to guess here, because we don't have any more details. Well, we will probably soon, though. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to start talking about this kind of stuff soon.
Yeah, I'm betting we're going to get a whole bunch more Piston Peak stuff here going into 2026. I'm not honestly expecting that we're going to see anything about Villains Land for like another year.
You're not wrong. Yeah,
that's my feeling. So
yeah. I mean, did they even give us like a date for any, like a year for any of this? I mean, I feel like it's gonna. I mean, it's obviously going to take a couple years. It's
yeah.
But I'm trying to remember if they even like gave us an idea.
Wait, Villains Land was announced in 2024 or was it 2025?
Gosh, I don't know. 24 probably.
Yeah,
Time
I feel
flies,
like it was.
Man.
Yeah,
time flies. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, let me find out.
Yeah, you look into that.
August 2024.
Okay, yeah. So okay.
Yeah, so we're more than a year now into this.
Yeah,
but like you said, these things take a couple of years. I think realistically, you're not gonna see Villains Land until probably 2028 is what I'm thinking.
And that makes sense because it's a brand new. It's not like they're retheming an area; they're net new. I mean, if you think about how long it took them to build like Avatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
That took forever. That was like 5 years, right? I mean, maybe more.
Galaxy's Edge they announced Galaxy's Edge very early, and it was a good 4 or 5 years of development before it actually opened. And I remember that because people were covering it in Disneyland and Disney World, and there was one vlogger that was doing like weekly updates in Disneyland, which was just like. I remember I like went and looked at it, and it was like weeks of like they moved this dirt pile. And I was like, okay, like it's yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
But this is going to be interesting. By the way, this the other somebody's speculating in the article here that they're saying that the building by the Haunted Mansion could just be like, an extended queue or restrooms. Or a bar or something.
Again, restrooms doesn't make sense because you have
restrooms right there already.
Yeah. The Tangled restrooms are
they're literally right there.
Right there. So I don't think they need another restroom. I'm gonna put this out there. I feel this is going to be either moving Memento Mori or it'll be a new. Maybe they won't call it Memento Mori, but it'll be a new like gift shop for Haunted Mansion stuff. And then Memento Mori will close down.
Love it. I somebody mark that down somewhere.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to totally forget about this in like 6 months, but that's fine.
Forget about it. I'll forget about it in a week.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Okay, so that was I should have put some I was not thinking that we would speculate on that one, but there we are. Trevor, this next thing I put on the list just because I want it. And I don't even care about PopSockets. I don't use PopSockets.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when was the last time we talked about a PopSocket?
Listen,
because
I know
I haven't had a PopSocket on my phone since
but my wife
2015.
My wife uses PopSockets, though. She loves a good PopSocket. I'm not a fan. I don't feel the need for PopSockets, but she loves them. But I mean, I can't.
This one's an exception.
Yeah, I can't let a Figment PopSocket go by that spins, Trevor. It spins. Okay, you can spin Figment on it.
Yeah, the spinning aspect of it is definitely like it turns it into a fidget spinner on the back of your phone, which is not a bad thing.
I would break this within weeks because I'd be spinning it too much. Like it would spin itself off of there very quickly. You know?
Yeah, I if I was to buy this, I would need to buy two.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I would have
would-
one that would just get
yeah.
absolutely destroyed on the back of my phone.
Yep.
And then another one that, you know, it looks very nice. Like the
It looks like it's metal. I was seeing,
I was gonna say it looks like a pin, right? Like
Yeah,
it looks
does.
like a metal pin. And then yeah, you know, the coloring and everything on it is just it looks really nice.
It's really cool, and
Yeah.
I love this time of year when the arts festival is going on, because we get you know, all this really cool Figment merch. You know, like
Mhm.
Figment gets his time in the sun. You know, like every time we have the Festival of the Arts, it's all Figment all the time, which is great. Like it makes me happy, because Figment should just always be getting all the love that he's always getting. You know, that not always getting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see when all this different Figment merch. Although I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Disney keeps like leaning into Figment and then leaning out. You know, like there's just, you know,
It's an ebb and a flow thing. You can't.
I guess.
I mean, you know, I get what you're saying, that, you know, you want more Figment, but it is very much a double-edged sword, right? You know, just like we talked about with Muppets and everything else, is that, you know, there's time to lean into it, but then they do need to back off, because, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
And you know, it gets people, you know, more excited for it. And then when they bring it back, it's like, oh, you know, the next thing, and it kind of builds that hype up again, right? So,
I think
it's not bad of them to, you know, limit how much they're doing of it. And you know, I think if it was all Figment all the time, you say you want that, but I don't think that's what you actually want.
Yeah. All right. Listen,
you gotta find balance. You know, Figment appreciates balance, I think. Even though he's very chaotic, I think you gotta find balance.
he likes the balance. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing all of us really want, that I feel like we're going to get eventually. We just don't have now, and that's the ride to be redone. Right?
Yes, agreed.
Like all they need to do is take it back to two versions ago. Take it back to the original. Like literally, just make it an updated version of the original, and people would be very happy with that. Like you don't even need to do anything new.
You probably won't like me saying this.
Oh no.
But I think that they may have similar problems to like how Rocket Rods ruined the People Mover in Disneyland.
Oh yeah, well, that's fair.
I get, like, I know there's a whole other section of that building that they're not using. I feel at this point there's probably something that has been done that can't be undone, and just putting it back to the way it is as actually going to be more work than just redoing the whole ride.
Just gutting the whole thing.
Yeah.
I still
believe it should be an Omnimover.
But I still think it should. I think it should be a trackless.
Trackless. I guess it could work as a trackless too. But I don't know. There's not enough Omnimover rides, in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
I think there could be more, and especially in Epcot. Like Epcot specifically, the only Omnimover there is Nemo, right?
Yeah.
I think they could do another one, but
they also have Spaceship Earth too, and
oh yeah, fair, yeah, I guess that is an Omnimover. Yeah,
don't forget that. I'm trying to think. Is there another one? No,
there isn't. Yeah,
no. But like you said, so the new one only used 60% of the track of the original one. It's unfortunate that that's the way that things happen. But I mean, they also they moved all of like the entrance and exit and all that stuff. So like it's a completely different ride, really. Right?
Which again, to my point is, I don't think they can put it back the way that it was.
No, they probably can't. But I want to say I think they should do trackless, because I think trackless would be very cool.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about trackless.
Why? What, you don't like the trackless?
I like they're good, but
I just think they're so cool, though.
Yeah, that they have the ability to do interesting things. The one thing that I don't think helps trackless rides is the parts where they put you into a very small area and use screens to pretend that the ride is doing more than it is.
Yeah.
I think that part needs to stop with trackless rides.
Yeah.
Because I think that because it's basically turning it into a simulator ride, like a Star Tours or something like that, which, to your point, yes, trackless rides are cool, but they kind of waste some of the potential by shoving you in a corner, making you watch a video for 30 seconds.
I understand. I understand that. I get that. I think though, I think you can do it in ways that are, I just think it would be really, it plays into the chaotic nature of what you can do with Figment. You know what I mean? Like,
and yeah, you're right. I guess it kind of like Mickey and Minnie's that, I don't know if you paid attention to the stuff. Like, I didn't realize how in depth Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is, but like to the point where there's elements that happen like once in 100 rides kind of thing. Like
there are.
Yeah, have you heard about the
video? I didn't watch that Imagineering video.
So there's like the Loch Ness monster shows up at one part in the ride, but it's like extremely rare. Like like you could ride it like 100 times and not see it kind of thing.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that. I that's news to me. Was that in the Imagineering video that they put out about it, or
I don't know if it was in the Imagineering video, but I saw a video specifically talking about that, and it might have been a clip from the Imagineering video. I actually.
It was one that just came out. I almost put it in the rundown, but I didn't. So
yeah. But yeah, there's stuff like that where like the ride is deliberately programmed in a way that there's unique elements that you may never actually see, which is both cool and maddening at the same time, because you want to see it, but yeah, like you're right. I guess Figment could go the same way, that you could have where the vast majority of ride throughs play out a certain way, but then every once in a while you get something just slightly off, right? Which
yeah, that's why I like the track list though too, is because every ride is a little bit different because you're taking different paths. Now the paths are defined, but you don't really ever know where you're going. That's how like Rise of Resistance is like that, where like there's the ride is almost completely different, just like when you go on it, because it takes you in different ways, and it's kind of that's what I like about it is there's that randomness to it, the re-rideability piece. It also just feels like, that every time I'm at Ratatouille and I'm getting off and you see all of the mice at the same time sideways park into the spot. Like, it's just kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe it's just the nerd, wannabe Imagineer in me that looks at that and go, well, that's just really cool to watch it like that. And also just like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I mean, the fact that they make it legitimately feel like you're on a train that's connected, and then everything just kind of disconnects and then it all reconnects, and it's so seamless that it feels really real. And even though they're not connected at any time, they do feel like they are,
Yeah. I get it. It's there are merits to it. Like I said, I think there's just some choices that are made with those ride systems that feels a little cheaper to me, versus the reason I say I like Omnimovers is that while the throughput is incredibly high, so it means that there's always a chance you can get on it. And in my experience, the obvious Omnimover rides like the Haunted Mansion and Spaceship Earth, there's so, like, even though you're not seeing a different thing every time, there's so many details in those rides that's what plays into the rewritability of it, is that you can find stuff that you can ride it like 50 times and never notice this one little thing, but it's always been there, kind of stuff, right? So I see. Yeah, I see the benefits of doing one or the other. We're talking about this as if they're actually like doing anything with Figment. Maybe we'll see. I know you didn't put this on the rundown, but I did see there have been some rumors about Bob Iger.
I thought about putting it on the rundown for a hot second, but
let's just put it out there. There's talk that he's potentially going to be stepping down here, or at least naming the successor, which we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully, whoever comes in, maybe they have a to-do list of things that they want to clean up, and maybe Figment's on that list, right? So We'll see.
I heard, I want to say it was Tony Baxter. It might have been a different Imagineer that said it was a matter of when, not if, that they were going to redo it. So, and I would like to believe that. So, I want to believe that is true. But
the fact that we were clamoring over a PopSocket, 10 minutes ago says that there's a demand there for Figment. And
well, listen, they've been doing these surveys. Man, we keep talking about these surveys that they've been doing the past couple of years on people's thoughts on Figment. So clearly they're thinking about it. They just don't. They just don't know if they want to spend the money on it.
Less PopSocket, more ride, please.
Yeah,
just put that on your next survey that you get.
More ride. I like that. Okay. Less PopSocket, more ride. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So Trevor, what did you want to talk about with this Disneyland stuff? Okay, we'll pop into Disneyland and wrap the show up here.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the California Adventure 25th anniversary offerings.
Oh yeah, because I need to talk about this popcorn bucket. Is that a popcorn? Okay, yeah, it's a popcorn bucket.
It is a popcorn bucket, yeah.
So first of all, can you believe it's been 25 years that California Adventure's been open? That's kind of crazy. It's a long time.
I can, because I've gone to California Adventure in various incarnations of it, which is honestly, the fact that it's only 25 years is surprising, but also kind of makes sense. Because it's the park has changed so much. Like it's kind of crazy to think about how,
well, they basically redid the whole thing when Iger came in, right? I mean, he was we screwed this place up. We're going to redo it all,
Yeah, and I saw it in those transitions where things were honestly before Radiator Springs opened. It was not good, but there were still some redeeming elements of it. Like California Screamin' was great before it became Incredicoaster, and
we got Soarin' out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And Grizzly Peak and all that, all that coming in, it's changed so much. And like I said, just the fact that it is 25 years is it feels like it should be longer. I do like you said, this popcorn bucket, the fact that it's Mickey's Fun Wheel, or the Wheel of Death as it's colloquially named.
Yeah. But just the concept of this is, it's cool. This is a cool popcorn bucket.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there. My only comment on it is there's so many little pieces to it.
Because there's the cars on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And just because it is the wheel, there's a lot of very thin pieces to it. I don't know that I would want to walk around with this hanging off my neck, because I feel like it would get broken.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. This is such a cool idea for a popcorn bucket. The fact that they even did this is great. But it's see-through. The middle part of it is the popcorn bucket, and it's see-through. And so it's there. But also, I don't know if you saw, but you turn the lights on by touching Mickey's nose.
Oh, is that how? Oh, I didn't realize
that's what he did in the video. I don't know if that's actually how you do it, or if they were just doing that for the video. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I really like this, and I have not been to California Adventure, but this is a cool.
It's an interesting ride to pick as a popcorn bucket, because it is obviously a very polarizing ride. Some people like it. Some people refuse to ride it, like my wife, who, to be fair, my wife does.
Dude, I hate Ferris wheel, so I would never do
really?
it. No,
I love a good Ferris wheel. But this one in particular, it's a scary Ferris wheel. I will give it that. It has way more going on to it than normal Ferris wheels. They do have the normal cars. I guess you could do the normal Ferris wheel cars if you wanted to, but the ones on the tracks are so much fun.
So yeah, well, I just judging by the Instagram comments on this, the bucket we never knew we always wanted. Amazing, iconic. This is the winner of the year. Coolest popcorn bucket ever.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely one of the cooler popcorn buckets that's come out of these celebration type things, right?
Yeah, this is literally, everyone is just raving about this. They're gonna this is the thing. So
but it's funny because I'm sure a lot of those people would also say I'll never ride Mickey's Fun Wheel either.
Yeah, but who cares? You don't need to. You don't need to ride it to where the.
That's true. Yeah.
Here's a comment for you, Trevor. Does it also play the various sounds of blood curdling screaming?
Terrified screams as you come over the crest and you feel like your car is going to fly off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But
it needs to be authentic.
That's very cool. I really like that. And also, by the way, too, we're actually missing the coolest part about this, and it says featuring embedded Magic Inside technology, the bucket reacts to select locations in the parks.
Oh,
it changes colors, lighting and lighting patterns based on where you are during, in some of the lands and attractions, and also during the nighttime spectacular. So this is going back to the glow with the show stuff. You remember that stuff? But they're doing it with a popcorn bucket, which is
that's awesome. Actually a much smarter way to do it than the ears and stuff that they did. Because I'm more likely to be walking around with a popcorn bucket, and it's just going to be constantly on display, which will grab people's attention more than we tried an early incarnation of those ears, and I think we wore them for like 10 minutes and found that they were very uncomfortable.
They're very heavy. It was like where I would mess with my wife because she bought them, and I would just go and knock on her head because they were like a hard hat. They were like a construction hard hat. So, because it was just they were big. I mean, listen, at the time, the technology it was small, but it was still big enough that it was heavy, and you had batteries sitting on top of your head and stuff. It is what it is. But
like I said, putting it into a popcorn bucket is I hope that this is something you see a little more of, where having interactive elements to the popcorn bucket, because there are people that, like my wife is very much one of these people that will buy a popcorn bucket and walk around with it, and having it interact with different elements in the park is smart, in my opinion. It's a great way to incentivize it even more than, it's already a cool popcorn bucket, but take those elements and do more popcorn buckets in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, the other thing, so outside of the popcorn bucket, I have to say, I do really like the merch that they did for the 25th anniversary.
I thought you were going to comment on Mickey and Minnie's outfits that are interesting.
No, I'm ignoring those because I don't know what to think about those. They're a little.
They're interesting.
There's a lot of colors going on, which I'm not usually opposed to colors, but
they feel very 90s. They feel very throwback.
I don't even know what it's not even 90s.
It's like early 2000s. Yeah, I guess when the park opened, right? It's
that does make sense. So I'm not vibing with it quite as much as other 90s apparel, but further down on this list, there's what is this set called? I don't even know what the set's called. It's just the
25th anniversary set. Yeah.
So they have it shows the Carthay Circle Tower, but it's done in the same aesthetic as like around Carthay Circle, which also, funny enough, gives the same vibes as Tower of Terror before they redid it to Guardians of the Galaxy. So I kind of like it because it's reminding me of, like, I know it's showing like the current state of the park, but it reminds me of weirdly of like a good part of the park that is no longer there.
Okay, that's fair.
So I like it. I like the aesthetic of the 25th anniversary because it is giving the Carthay Circle stuff is like very like 1930s, 1940s, which I like that. I like that aesthetic on the merch for sure. Yeah.
They also just, they're bringing back Soarin' Over California to Soarin'. So on February 6th. So if you are a fan of the original, you can go see that.
Yep.
So
and what about, are we going to talk about Humphrey?
I don't know how much I care about this.
Really? You don't care about Humphrey?
Not really. No.
I'm a little disappointed.
I didn't know that anyone cared about Humphrey. Okay, I mean, I remember him from the cards, from cartoons. I mean,
because there was the ones with him and Donald in I liked Humphrey. It was like I always enjoyed seeing him in the various like
I like him. I
cartoons.
I just am not like clamoring to go meet him. I don't know.
Well, but maybe you'll find he's more endearing than you think he is. He is going to be at Storytellers Cafe, which is in the Grand Californian, I believe. Yeah. So kind of a deep cut, to be honest. Like,
yeah, a little bit.
You're right. I didn't think that they would do like a Humphrey meet and greet, but you can go and meet Humphrey. I feel like that, they're pushing that. It should have been Humphrey and Donald. Like, I think those two together would be an interesting meet and greet. But the fact that they're diving into more obscure characters, I'm not opposed to that.
Oh no, listen, I'm always in favor of them going back to like older characters, obscure characters. I don't know. I just didn't have a attachment to Humphrey. Like I know of him, but he's it doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. Maybe just me.
No, that's fair. I mean, like I said, I remember watching the Sunday Wonderful World of Disney cartoons, and he would always show up in there. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention here, Trevor.
No,
but,
I mean there's stuff about Downtown Disney as well, but it's
I mean, there's a Bananas Foster beignet over at Beignets Express, and I mean, I would tear that up. But
I mean, it's beignet, but like that's that's nothing like.
No, it's not special.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, they're always doing new takes on beignets and stuff like that.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Let's wrap it.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess, if you want to reach out to us about anything that we did talk about on the show today, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us through the website now. So, just a reminder, we have our website up and running again, which is welcomehomepodcast.co. So you can go there and you can find episodes. So, as the episodes come out, they'll be posted up there. We are working on the website. There will be more stuff added as we go, but you can also contact us through the website too. It just sends you to the email address that I mentioned. So, you can, send us questions, send us feedback, thoughts, any of that kind of stuff. Similarly, we are on other social media platforms. So you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast, YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast, and Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. We also have in Facebook, there is our group Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. Again, another place that, we have conversations about stuff from the show, but also just, people talking about their general Disney experiences and stuff that they're doing with Disney. I've seen, love seeing people talking on there, asking questions about like, what was one that I saw recently? It was, I think somebody was asking about planning for. I think it was Ashley. It was asking about ways to entertain their 4-year-old while they're waiting in line for rides.
Oh yeah.
Love seeing discussions like that. Love seeing you guys. It's not just about us in the podcast. It's it's about everybody talking about Disney and enjoying Disney stuff. So come join us in there and talk about Disney stuff with us. And yeah. It's always a good time. As we mentioned, we do have a store, which is one of the ways you can help support the show. It's store.welcomehomepodcast.co. Right now it's still, as we talked about, we have the current lineup of merch is still up there. You can still find shirts and all that kind of stuff. We will have a new store coming. That'll be in the future, but it is underway as we're getting the website up and running. So stay tuned for that. And we also have a Patreon. So go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod and check out our different levels of Patreon support. And all of our Patreon supporters do get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we talk about all the stuff from the show and sometimes random topics as well. Because, why not? We love going down our rabbit holes, and the Discord's yet another place we can do that. And last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere you can leave us 5 stars, leave us a 5-star review. Also on iTunes, you can write us a review and let us know what you think about the show. We love hearing what you guys think there as well.
Yeah, and shout out to Becky because, by the way, if you're in the Patreon, you get an early view at the rundown of what we're going to talk about, which is essentially just an outline. Trevor and I, tend to deviate from the outline, but the outline helps us,
It's a framework. It's not a script.
That's right. It's a framework. But a shout out to Becky, who found a typo in the rundown and let me know about it in Discord. So if you want to find my typos, due to writing rundowns with lack of sleep, you could do that if you join Patreon. So, but the other thing you should do is not forget, in fact, remember to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast, so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Spotify, YouTube Music. That's just a couple places. There's like a million places that you can find us. Okay, there's everyone that streams podcasts. You can find us, except for like Netflix. We're not cool enough for that. But everywhere else where you can stream any podcast, you can find us there. So huge thank you to the sponsor of this episode, DVC Resale Market, and also Keyholder Vacations for sponsoring everything that we do here and continuing to be great partners of ours. And you're going to hear more from those folks as we continue to do the show. So. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC. To a house when we had a chair, how she can cuddle, she's no man's affair. I look around for